£1,000. Tammy and Amy Slaton, who are sisters, have been preparing for the upcoming season of their reality show. On December 12, the second half of the fourth season of the TLC show will make its debut, and viewers have a lot of things to look forward to. There have been a number of significant events that have transpired since the conclusion of the first portion, but the second section will also be packed with drama. During the first half of the fourth season, viewers witnessed Tammy, who is 37 years old, finally have the weight loss surgery that she has been battling for since the first season. She finally left the weight loss center in Ohio at the conclusion of the episode in order to travel back to her home state of Kentucky. Where did Amy go? Amy Halterman, Tammy's sister, who was 36 years old at the time, evicted her husband Michael Halterman from her residence around the same time in February 2023. This incident, along with all those that followed it, has not yet been depicted in the show by this point. Michael officially filed for divorce from Amy the following month after she had relocated their two children, Gage, who was 3 years old, and Glenn, who was 1 year old, out of the home that they shared. On February 28, it was disclosed that Amy had filed a protection order against her husband. This information was made public toward the end of March. After making a call to 911 saying that Michael had become violent in their house, the order was issued barely 4 days later. The same day, Amy filed a complaint against Michael in a court in Kentucky alleging that he had committed domestic abuse. Amy dropped the domestic charges against her ex-boyfriend in the month of May. Tommy and Caleb both. The relationship between Tammy and Caleb Willingham began to deteriorate in March, shortly after Tammy left the rehabilitation center where she had been staying with her husband. While Tammy was leaving her new husband behind in Ohio, she departed the rehabilitation center. This occurred only 3 months after they had tied the knot in the weight loss center where they were both staying. It wasn't until May, just a few months later, that it became public knowledge that Tammy and Caleb had broken up. According to a source close to the marriage who talked with the United States Sun, Tammy has her legal team lined up and is ready to file for divorce. They split up because Caleb hasn't been following his diet and rehab, according to the insider, adding that he has gained 30 pounds and hasn't been working his program. They got into a big fight over it and he told her he wanted a divorce, but then he tried to backtrack, according to a confidential source. Although he was still in rehabilitation, Caleb passed away at the age of 40 before anything could be resolved. During the ceremony, Tammy was observed to be in a state of profound sadness shortly after his passing. The run-in that Tommy had with the law. A mere 5 days after the funeral of her late husband, Caleb Willingham, Tammy was arrested for possessing marijuana. According to court documents that were obtained exclusively by the United States Sun, Tammy was charged with 1 count of possession of marijuana and 2 counts of possession of drug paraphernalia when she was in possession of marijuana. In response to the allegation, a Sturgis police officer arrived on the scene on August 4. On August 7, she was officially charged with the crime, and she was scheduled to appear in court on August 31 for her arraignment. The pre-trial conference that Tammy was supposed to attend was planned for October 5, however, she was not required to show up. The Kentucky Commonwealth website states that a pre-trial conference is when it is determined whether or not the defense and the prosecution have reached an agreement over a guilty plea.